had there, and so she suggested that I try it out. So being the freshman who was panicking over how many community service hours he had to do, I agreed to see what Yachad was all about. So that following Wednesday, I got to Green Road, and when I got there, I felt like a total stranger. Here were people I've never seen before in my life, people I've never met. So I'll admit I was a little bit intimidated by the atmosphere at first. So then Mrs. Taub walked up to me and warmly welcomed me to Yachad. So that kind introduction made me feel much more comfortable. So I got settled in, and despite some mutual embarrassment between Eve and I when Mrs. Taub asked me how I found out about Yachad, I started to get the hang of what really went down during Yachad's meetings. So over the course of my first appearance at Yachad, I realized, hey, this is something I can really get into. So I started going week after week, enjoying the experience more and more as the year progressed. So from that first meeting on, my perspective on life changed as a whole. At Yachad, I was surrounded by people who felt like outsiders because they feel different from everybody else. Yachad gave them a sense of belonging. Yachad gave them the gift of appreciation and inclusion. Yachad taught them what it meant to be part of a family. So once I had this epiphany, I started looking at Yachad through a totally new lens. No longer did I do Yachad just to fill in my required number of tested hours for the school year. I did it because it mattered to me and the members whom I grew to love over the past 3.5 years of my high school career. I started to do Yachad not just for me, but for others. Only then did I truly understand the impact Yachad had on the lives of those members and volunteers who appreciated these meetings to the fullest. Only then did I understand the impact Yachad had on my own life. So, it's not every day that somebody can make a difference in another person's day. It's not every day that somebody can make a difference in another person's life. But for one day a week, I had the opportunity to make that difference. And while I won't be back for a long time, the lessons I've learned here at Yachad over the past few years are invaluable. I'll miss you all, but just know that God willing, I will be back, waiting to be welcomed by Mrs. Taub and Sarah, just like I was on that January evening only a few short years ago. Thank you.